Hey guys, how you guys doing? September 18th, 2019. Hoping you're having a wonderful day, a blessed day indeed. Fire and fury, guys. Fire and fury. It seems that Donald Trump's threats are idle and they mean nothing. Okay? And I've had a problem with Donald Trump's Donald Trump's foreign policy for a while now. But it's getting to the point where the U.S. is looking weak on foreign policy. Okay, so you know about the Saudi Arabian oil refinery that was hit, supposedly by Iran, from Iranian soil. Okay. President Donald Trump, Pompeo, a bunch of U.S. officials have come out and stated that U.S. intelligence is stating that these strikes did come from Iranian soil. Saudi Arabia had a conference today which they showed a bunch of different evidence, missile parts, all right, to show that Iran was responsible for these attacks against their oil refineries, right? But they did not say that it came from Iran, and that's extremely important, and not a lot of people are picking up on that. The U.S. is specifically stating that these attacks originated from Iran. Saudi Arabia has not done that so far, okay? They've not ruled out certain areas of the world, whether it be Yemen, Iraq, or Iran, okay? We're getting reports that President Donald Trump, he honestly rather go about this with an international coalition than the U.S. go in it alone, okay? He's going to take this matter to the United Nations. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in Saudi Arabia today. He met with the Crown Prince. He had discussions. He even called this an act of war, okay? Very big, very big. He called it an act of war, something that President Donald Trump hasn't done. So if President Donald Trump comes back in the next couple of days and says, oh, well, technically it wasn't an act of war, don't be surprised because they seem to contradict each other all the damn time. But where we currently sit right now is Trump is not willing to pull the trigger, okay? His fire and fury talk, that's all it is. It's talk. Okay, he's done it with North Korea, he's done it with Venezuela, he's done it with Syria, and now he's doing it with Iran. Okay, the only time that it amounted to anything was when, over a year ago, when we struck, he gave the order to strike a Syrian air base. Okay, and that strike did nothing. That base was operational the very next day. Okay, it was more of a PR stunt for President Xi of China than it was an actual strike, a military strike. Okay, he doesn't have the gumption to order a strike like that, or at least that's what the evidence is pointing to. Okay, so at this point, I'm thinking we're sitting around a 25% chance for a strike, a 75% chance for a no strike. If a strike does occur, and we've been saying this on this channel for a while now, okay, I've been saying this for a while now. If Iran was to get struck and the U.S. would go to war with Iran, it wouldn't start because the U.S. decides to strike Iran. It would start because Israel or Saudi Arabia would. Okay? So right now I think we set a 25% chance of a strike against Iran that will not be led by the U.S. That would be led by Saudi Arabia itself. Okay? There's been rumors that Saudi Arabia has been hitting different IRGC positions in Iraq, but I don't know if that's true. I've seen it both ways. Some people are saying these are just rumored. At the very least, they're very unconfirmed, so take them with a grain of salt. But I don't think that would be their response. Okay. More sanctions are being put onto Iran, but of course sanctions don't really do a damn thing. Also, what more can we sanction? It's kind of like when we just kept on sanctioning North Korea, and the last round of sanctions we put up, I'm like, what are we sanctioning at this point? You know, who are we hurting? This doesn't make any sense to me, you know? And I'm all for talks. I'm all for negotiation. Anything is better, you know, the most unjust peace is better, or yeah, the most uneasy peace is better than the most just war. But you got to think bigger picture when it comes to the Middle East, when it comes to North Korea, okay? If the U.S. decides to create a vacuum, like President Obama did, then you're going to have other people move in, like Russia or China, okay? So we cannot afford to look weak, but President Trump doesn't want to act against Iran because he thinks it'll hurt his chances for re-election. He doesn't want to go down and be remembered as a wartime president. But at this point, this is getting a little out of control. Okay, you can't talk you can't talk a big game like that and then back down every single time, and that's what Trump has been doing. And even his closest advisors are now starting to talk against him. Lindsey Graham coming out and stating, man, we need to answer these provocations. We got to do something. And President Trump answering him, going, hey, it takes strength to do what I'm doing. So, yeah, at this point, guys, look for, if any strikes, a Saudi strike against Iranian targets. I don't know if that will happen inside of Iran, especially with Saudi Arabia not actually, they're not even admitting that it happened or it originated from Iranian soil. So look for Saudi Arabian Air Force strikes against IRGC forces. And maybe that's the response that we're going to get with this whole thing. I don't really know at this point. It doesn't look like the United States of America is going to do anything. And if anything, this is just kicking the can down the road. And that's my biggest issue with President Trump, is he criticized so many past administrations when it came to North Korea and Iran about kicking the can down the road. It's insane to me that he's done this, okay? And that's what he's doing right now. He's doing the exact same thing that he's criticized people for, okay? But guys, as more information about all this comes out, I'll let you guys know. We'll discuss it. Just keep your eyes on it, all right? Grab a beer, say a few prayers, and as always, keep your eyes to the skies. God bless.